Wow. Wow. That's crazy. You locked her up? That is insane, man. She is not influencing people.
A Trump-supporting Republican official claims voter suppression after she was escorted out of a polling place for allegedly harassing voters. Now, the woman in the video, Valerie Bianchanello, was cuffed and escorted out of line after 4 different voters made multiple complaints about her telling people who to vote for, which would, of course, be Donald Trump. So now Ryan Herlinger, a spokesperson for Delaware County, Pennsylvania, said, quote, 4 witnesses in line voluntarily provided statements to Park Police, reporting that the individual in question was harassing voters in line and telling them who to vote for. Upon hearing the commotion, Park Police responded and instructed the woman to stop bothering voters and leave the area. When the woman refused, she was cited for disorderly conduct. Ensuring safe, accessible, and respectful voting environments for all residents is our top priority, and we remain committed to facilitating a fair and secure election process. So now here's the thing, right? You're not allowed to do electioneering while in line. Or like, even if you're not in line, okay, you're still not supposed to do electioneering. You can't tell people who to vote for. You also can't do things like wear t-shirts with candidates on them or hats, like MAGA hats. Can't do that. That's electioneering, and it doesn't matter which candidate you're going for or you're against. You just can't do that. Okay, no electioneering in line, in the building. Can't do it. Why? It's to ensure that no one is intimidated. Okay? Now, the Trump campaign, however, is saying, she's been suppressed. She's been intimidated. See, they're doing it to us. No, every accusation is a confession. But anyway, here's the memo the Trump campaign released. This made it all the way up to Donald Trump's Truth Social, by the way. It said, today in Delaware County, Pennsylvania, Val Bianchanelo was arrested for encouraging people to stay in line and vote. Election officials were telling voters to leave without any reason and actively suppressing their right to vote. Now, the video, by the way, didn't catch her saying anything like, vote for Trump, right? Suspiciously missing from that video. But what was there was her saying, stay in line, which generally I would agree with. But again, since we don't see the prior, and since this part of the video is being used by the Trump campaign to claim that she's being suppressed, I'm thinking there might be some video elsewhere showing her talking, and saying things like vote for Donald Trump, right? That's just my read of it, right? Now, that said, more of the statement. Just this morning, the RNC sent a demand letter to the Pennsylvania Secretary of State after reports of voters told that computers are down, which happens. Polling sites are closing early, which also happens, and not accepting any more voters, and that their ballots will not be counted. The situation is the exact opposite of a safe and secure election. This is voter suppression. Election officials in Pennsylvania must immediately secure a fair and transparent election for Pennsylvania voters. Who came up with all these rules restricting? Oh, right, that would be Republicans. Furthermore, the statement ends with saying, President Trump supporters should not be intimidated at the polls. Here's your right to vote. Make a plan to vote and go vote now. Well, who's intimidating Trump voters? Really? No, look, if you're a Trump supporter and you're watching this video, I don't care that you voted for Trump. I don't care. It's your right. It is your right to vote for whoever you want. And I will always support the right to vote. Remember, it's not the left that's trying to crush democracy here, okay? So I'm not buying the whole, we're the victims of voter suppression. No, it's generally Republicans who tend to do voter suppression. You're the ones that are usually doing it. So, but is this different? No, it's not. But anyway, on social media, she said this, quote, stay in line and vote. They arrested me and I didn't break any laws. No, they just escorted you out. I encourage people to stay in line and vote because the Democrats were discouraging voters from in-person voting today in Delaware County. In fact, the election worker told people in line to go to the Chester Heights satellite office because the line was shorter there. Do you know what? I know. How dare they tell someone, hey, you could probably have an easier time voting in this other polling place unless you want to wait here. I mean, that's fine, but you'd have a shorter line over there. But then she says, do you know what happened when they got to the Chester Heights office to vote in person? They were told that they ran out of mail-in ballot applications. Probably because there was higher than expected turnout. But no, she says, this is voter suppression in Delaware County, Pennsylvania. I did nothing wrong except encourage people to stay in line and vote. So they arrested me. Vote! No, you were harassing people, being loud and annoying. That's not voter suppression, especially after you've already, I assumed she had already cast her vote and was just hanging around telling people, stay in line, do this, do that, because she didn't look like she was in line. All right. So, but here's the thing, though, right? Generally, election workers will encourage people to stay in line so they can vote, right? Now, it would make sense that if there's higher than expected turnout and you know of a place that could get you in quicker, okay, then yeah, go ahead and direct someone there if they choose to go, right? If by the way, if there's an issue too, then they're going to direct you elsewhere. Sure. Now, this is why early voting and, more accessible voting, different ways of voting is so essential. It's fundamental, right? You should have different ways to cast your ballot other than just showing up in person. If you want to show up in person, that's fine. There's that option. But if you, for example, want to do an absentee ballot, you want to do a mail-in ballot, you want to vote early, I think all of those things are perfectly valid and fine. It is not the Democrats that are trying to shut that down. It's Republicans. Even though Republicans also use those very same measures. Republicans have used ballot drop boxes. They've done mail-in ballots. Despite, of course, all the freak out in 2020 of, mail-in ballot. Donald Trump cast mail-in ballots. Voted for himself via mail. What are you talking about? Again, it's insanity, right? Look, obviously, I care about everybody being able to cast their ballot, okay? And the people in line still able to cast their ballots. They'll still be able to vote and get it counted because it's not election day yet. Early voting, it's good. That said, where's the suppression? Who's being suppressed? I'm sorry, but getting escorted out for being annoying, having 4 different people complain that you're out there electioneering, telling people, oh, Trump, in a clear violation of the rules that you should already know because you're an official. You're an RNC official. You should know the rules. You know it, and yet you do this for what? Putting on my conspiracy hat here, my little tinfoil hat, doing it on purpose so that you can scream about how you're being suppressed. And it seems to have worked. Playing the victim, okay? I mean, you don't see Harris supporters doing stuff like this, right? Telling people who to vote for and then playing the victim when they get removed. That doesn't happen, okay? So something tells me that she wanted this, that this was the reaction she was looking for, so she could scream about being suppressed and it could get blasted all over. She should know the rules, and she does. But apparently, she doesn't care about the rules because it's all about her and her party's alleged victimhood. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.